music. Hi guys, welcome back to Petrolheads London, and more specifically to my Giulia Quadrifoglio, which it's been a while, and in fact this car's a year old. Now it's a bit of an apology, this first bit, because the next bit of the video you're going to see is I am not dressed like this, and it is not sun is not shining as it is today, because that video is one that I thought I had done but I hadn't anyway. So you'll see it's actually in the winter, which is more relevant because it's about these tyres. But anyway, watch on through and see what you think. There's been a lot spoken about these, so just want to give you my view and kind of what I'm going to do about it. Right, I'm going to carry on enjoying this car. See you. What I want to talk to you about today on this very misty day, as the temperature has just dropped 6 degrees, are these tyres. On this car, it comes with Pirelli P0s. What's wrong with that, you ask? Well, they're not any ordinary Pirelli P0s. These are P0 Corsas. Now, I don't want to start off with a negative, and it all builds for good YouTubing, doesn't it, to talk about a problem, but this car is only useful for a small part of the year in this country, and I'm going to show you why today. Now, the P0 Corsas, don't get me wrong, are a bloody amazing tyre. However, in this, well, let's talk about why they're good. In the summer, when I first got this car, they are just, well, the whole car is, but that package, confidence inspiring, just brilliant tyres. Now, if you don't know much about the Pirelli P0 Corsas, which I'm quite willing to admit I didn't really before I got this car, is they're basically a track-focused tyre. So, although they look like they have a huge amount of tread, or a fair bit, really they're almost like a semi-slick, like you often hear people talk about the Michelin Pilot Sport Cups or Cup 2s. They're a very, very similar tyre to that, which means in warm weather, I live in England, remember, they are just awesome. This car literally sticks and sticks and sticks to the road, and I had a huge amount of confidence. However, when the temperature is 6 degrees, they are, let's just say, less good. One of the things that doesn't add up for me in this car is it's got tyres that are purely focused at warm weather, but yet with the comfort pack, when it's really cold and windy like it is today, I have a heated steering wheel, heated seats. Now, heated steering wheel is not that common in cars. Very nice and toasty, not sure it's, I think I'd rather have a heated front windscreen. Why you didn't think of that, Alfa, I don't know. Anyway, not the point of this video. But like, why would you put summer focused tyres, track based tyres on a car like this when you're then kitting it out for clearly different weather as well? The only other thing, you know, I have talked about a bit is whether I get something like Pirelli Soto Zeros. And actually, interestingly, on this drive, I've just met a guy who has an M2 who has Pirelli Soto Zeros on there, and actually what we were discussing was the fact that the problem I have with these tyres in this weather is it doesn't even give you a gradual letting go of grip. It's quite snappy. So at least with the Pirelli Soto Zeros, what he was saying is the feedback from them is really good, and the fact that actually when it starts letting go on the grip, it lets it go bit by bit. So look, it is a consideration for me to get winter tyres and just swap between the two, because I do love these tyres in the summer. But what people say about those Pilot Sport 4S's, I think is the full title of them, is that they behave like a cup on the road, like not a cup, Michelin Cup 2s tyres, which are their version really of these, in the warmer weather. So actually kind of get the best of all worlds. And if you haven't got space to store tyres or want to cough out a new set of wheels, I mean, you're in for $2.5 grand for a new set of wheels and tyres. Whereas if you just get a new set of tyres, then maybe probably close to $1,000. On roads like this, where it's cold, a little bit greasy, a little bit slippy, all of that confidence I had in the summer is gone. I mean, gone. This is a 510 horsepower rear wheel drive car with tyres that feel like they're low friction tyres. They feel like I've put budget tyres on. And that might be a bit sensationalist, but I might as well do, given the confidence it's given me. I've not chosen the best road to bring you down. I don't know where I'm going, by the way. I'm on my way down to Goodwood, just because that felt like a cracking idea. And I knew there was a tunnel around here somewhere. Anyway, I've missed that. I'm rambling. These tyres, so one other thing that's worth noting is on other manufacturers, I think it was BMW, they used to put these tyres on some of their cars, or maybe they still do, and they actually make the person taking the car sign a disclaimer taking away the responsibility from them for having fitted the tyres, because they say they are, well, lethal. These tyres are lethal. Like, I don't mind saying it. And the problem I have, now 5 degrees, is that in this weather, it's kind of blown my confidence a little bit in the tyres. And that is a real... Although I love this car, this time of the year, is it useless? Well, it's quite a lot of fun, but I've lost a bit of trust in it. And honestly, if the tyres are only good for a certain amount of the year, why put them on it? Like, put something on that's just, like, so here now, I should be trusting this car a lot. Just struggle to. So it's kind of taken a bit of a fun out of the car. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of fun, and maybe actually having that bit of playfulness. But, I mean, look, I'm not the only one saying this, and I'm just kind of echoing the thoughts that everybody else has had. And if you read on the forums and stuff, I go with lethal. This is why a lot of these cars have ended up in ditches, because with these tyres on in colder weather, 6 degrees now, they just struggle to be that package that it was designed to be. So look, this is not all doom and gloom, but it does beg the question why they put these boots on this car. I mean, most people are not going to be spending their life on the track in this car, and one of the great things about it is so versatile. Like, I've not driven this car nearly as much as I wanted to recently. This is the first long drive I've had in a while. Man, I'm loving it. God, I've missed it. And on roads like this, it's brilliant, but it's a slight worry that you might end up over there somewhere, and that's not where I want to be. But with the right boots on, you know this car is awesome. So what's the solution? Well, I must say I have been looking, and where I kind of end up is Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. That is the tyre that everyone raves about, and what they say is actually it gives you as much grip as this in the summer, or 90% of that, and great grip in wet weather. Now, it rains a lot in this country, not as much as we think it does, but it does rain a fair bit. Having good grip and trust in your car is mega important. So I've never done the winter tyres thing, and that is the other option. So you can get a set of winter tyres for these, but then you have the same problem in the summer. I don't want to have to buy another set of wheels, which means then you've got to store them somewhere. But what I could do is swap these tyres for Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. However, one problem with that is these are 285s on the back, and Michelin Pilot Sport don't make in their Michelin don't make in their Pilot Sport 4s a 285. So what people have done is they've actually put a 295 on the back, which gives a slightly deeper tyre. Now, wider, sorry. And apparently it fits fine without any rubbing and stuff like that, from what I can tell. So if I'm honest, this is my consideration. What I might do this season is try and last out. It's now December. See if I can get through the winter with these tyres on. Maybe use the Q5 a bit more in the unsunny climes, and save these for the summer when I can have a bit more fun in them. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. And then once these have worn out, maybe by the end of the summer, put some Michelin Pilot Sport 4s on, although these should do about 7,000 or 8,000 miles, and judging by the amount of miles I'm doing at the moment, I'm going to struggle to do that. But that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I think that what I would say is, if you are going to get one of these cars, is like none of this should stop you. I did this in my Things I Hate video. None of this should stop you getting this car. It is an immense car. I still believe it's one of the best cars I've ever had. And I've been very fortunate to own a lot of nice cars, but there's just something about the way it drives and the feedback it gives you, and maybe I'm just a massive Alfa fan and sort of never realised it since those days when I had my GTV V6. But if you do get one of these, I think I would seriously consider the tyre options. Like, if you buy one new, they come with these tyres as standard. There is no choice. This is what you get. You get the Pirelli P0 Corsas. They don't make you sign a disclaimer, but you know, buckle up, because in this weather it's interesting, and I just don't think I know the car well enough yet to be able to know the edges of it, where it's sliding around and what that feels like. Don't get stuck behind a Suzuki Swift, probably my first advice. But just think that you might need to fork out some money for some new boots. You're looking at £800 to £1,000 for a set of Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, and that's quite interesting compared to these. The Pirelli Corsa Zeros are also not a cheap tyre, and quite hard to get hold of, so you'll be paying well over £200 a corner, and almost up to £250 a corner on the P0 Corsas. Look, they're a great tyre. I just don't think they're diverse enough to justify having on a car that you use all the time. If this was a garage queen, which is not quite, I only say that because I'm looking at the mileage and thinking, wow, I've clearly not done enough, then actually, yeah, maybe you think, well, I'll just keep this and it's my weekend car and I'll only take it out in the summer. I think you're missing out on a lot of driving experience if you do that. I mean, I just pulled out of a junction there and it was wheel spinning. 6 degrees, it's a little bit damp on the road, but where it really gets you is when it's raining and there's heavy rainwater. I just can't trust these tyres, and they're gonna have to change. Maybe not immediately, but we will see, like, whether they will last out. You know, it's here as well, just having that trust. We've got 510 horsepower pumping through these rear tyres, and you're not sure if it's going to come and bite you back in the arse. you need to think about the setup of the car. So look guys, just a little bit of food for thought. There's quite a lot written on forums about these tyres as well. Definitely worth checking out if you're looking at. Everyone's raving about the Pilot Sport 4S's and apparently transformed the car. Obviously that's another video as and when I get round to it. Just also need to think about a bit of cash flow on that side of things. So my other half's watching. No, they're really cheap. They're like 200 quid each. No, for the lot. Anyway guys, look, thank you for watching Petrolheads London. Really appreciate all your support. I know my videos are a bit further and few in between these days, but really want to share these experiences with you and not that pothole times. Take care guys, and thanks for watching. Cheers.